Welcome to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive. And right off the bat, I just want to remind you to subscribe to Rugby Obsession YouTube channel and newsletter from the link in description.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely do that.
So for today's mission, we are doing a fast-paced breakdown of Rassie Erasmus's brilliant tactical maneuvering. Because, well, imagine stepping onto the pitch against heavily physical teams like England or Scotland and realizing your primary enforcers are just gone.
Right, just sitting in a hospital bed watching the game.
Exactly. That is the reality for the Springboks right now, ahead of the Nations Championship and that Barbarians fixture. We are looking at a forward pack missing some really critical foundational pieces.
It genuinely looks like a structural nightmare on paper. I mean, in any rugby team, but especially the Springbok system. You rely on your locks to bear the heaviest physical loads in the scrum.
Yeah, for sure.
And to dictate the aerial battle in the lineout. So when those specific guys vanish from the roster, the entire system is at immediate risk.
It really is. And let's just run through who is actually missing right now, because the sheer tonnage of sideline players is kind of alarming.
It's a lot to take in.
You've got Eben Etzebeth nursing a hip injury he got with the Sharks, and then Jean Klein is completely out of commission until at least mid-July.
And then the compounding factor there is R.G. Snyman. I mean, he is sidelined for the entire 2026 international season.
Wow, yeah, that is a huge blow.
It effectively wipes out your core World Cup winning rotation in the second row. You lose Snyman's offloads, Klein's gritty ruck work, and obviously Etzebeth's pure physical presence.
And it's not even just the veterans either. Ruan Venter, who was heavily tipped to feature this year, suffered that serious knee injury against Leinster. Plus, Malcolm Marks and Quagga Smith have their own knocks.
The casualty ward is absolutely overflowing.
It feels a bit like trying to build a sturdy brick wall, but suddenly you realize all your load-bearing bricks are just missing from the site. With so many foundational pieces out, how does a coach maintain structural integrity before such crucial matches?
Well, while it looks like a crisis, it's actually a massive opportunity for Rassie Erasmus.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he gets to showcase his adaptability here. The second row is the literal engine room of the scrum and lineout. But instead of panicking, Rassie is leaning heavily into his squad depth.
Well, you can't fix a broken engine without reliable parts. And thankfully, Rassie is getting a massive 33-year-old part shipped in straight from Japan.
Very true.
But before we unpack this massive return, make sure to subscribe to the Rugby Obsession YouTube channel and newsletter from the link in description.
Always a good reminder to get those updates.
Definitely. So let's talk about Lou de Jager. He's been out for 7 months, but he is starting in the number 5 jersey for the Saitama Wild Knights in the Japan Rugby League 1 third-place playoff.
Yeah, getting him back right now is just a phenomenal boost. He is stepping straight into a high-stakes match against Tokyo Sun Goliath.
He is combining with Liam Mitchell, right? And starting alongside Damien Dialende while facing off against Cheslin Colby, who's on the bench for Sun Goliath.
Exactly. So he is immediately testing himself against international caliber athletes in a very fast-paced league. And the reason this matters so much is, well, while de Jager is traditionally a loose head lock, he has featured in the number 4 jumper for the Pokes before.
Right, the number 4 spot on the tight head side.
Yeah, his veteran presence and his ability to just slot into that 4 spot provide an immediate stabilizing force for Rassie's pack. It takes a lot of pressure off the rest of the guys.
Okay, so getting de Jager back shores up one side of the lock pairing, but Rassie still needs a partner for him.
He does indeed.
And without traditional options, he has to get creative. So he is shifting a superstar out of his usual position. We are talking about Pieter-Steph du Toit, who just recovered from a shoulder injury at Toyota Verblitz.
That's right. He's planned to be utilized in the second row. He actually slotted in there during a similar injury crisis back in 2024.
But wait, I have to push back on this a bit. Isn't it a bit risky to move a 2-time World Rugby Player of the Year out of his primary back row spot?
I mean, people definitely ask that question.
It feels a bit like taking your best goal-scoring striker and forcing them to play in the midfield, you know?
I hear that, but it's actually genius. Du Toit is a phenomenal scrummager. He has the mass and the horizontal torque for it.
Okay.
And crucially, he already has this intimate knowledge of the team's line-out calls and the overall game plan. He understands the complex defensive folds and breakdowns.
Oh, right. The cognitive infrastructure of the team?
Exactly. Compare him to the uncapped invitees like J.J. Vandermest or Batho Halakani.
Yeah, they've been at the alignment camps. They certainly have the physical profile of traditional locks.
They do. But despite being at those camps, their lack of deeply ingrained structural knowledge really counts against them for the July tests.
Yeah.
You can't learn that instinctive reaction time on a whiteboard.
That makes total sense. You want that veteran experience on the field when the pressure spikes. Although we should mention Saman Morad has marked his comeback for the Stormers, which is great for squad depth.
Very positive, yeah.
Yeah.
It buys them much-needed time.
And Ruan Norche, Franco Moster, and even the junior Bok captain Riley Norton are in the selection frame too. But I want to turn this over to you, the listener. What are your thoughts on shifting Peter Steph du Toit to the second row?
Yeah, it's a huge debate in the rugby community right now.
Does his experience outweigh the benefit of blooding new talent in the engine room? Let us know your opinions in the comments. We really want to see what you think about this strategy.
Because if Erasmus is relying on shifting veteran back rowers like du Toit into the second row, specifically because the newer players don't yet grasp the complex structures, it raises a really fascinating broader implication.
What's that?
Is the tactical playbook becoming so advanced that it's increasingly difficult for the next generation to break through quickly? Like, is the system itself a barrier to entry at the test level?
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is a brilliant point to leave everyone with. The playbook as a barrier to entry. You can be physically ready, but completely cognitively overwhelmed. Well, before we wrap up, I want to remind you one last time to subscribe to Rugby Obsession YouTube channel and newsletter from the link in description.
Definitely do that so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming tactical breakdowns.
Thank you for listening to the Rugby Obsession Deep Dive, and we'll look forward to you listening to our next episode.